Okay, we're going to move on to new business. And the first item under new business is a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding regarding the use of part-time firefighters between the Village of Carpentersville and the SEIU Local 73 full-time firefighters.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion made by Trustee Hines.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Ramirez-Sliwinski. Manager Anderson.
Thank you. I believe we've previously discussed this matter with the village board. The reason why we're recommending adoption of this resolution and approval of the memorandum of understanding is related to Public Act 095-0490, which was recently adopted by the General Assembly, which sets forth some parameters as to how you can use and when you can use part-time firefighters to replace full-time firefighters. And in discussions with our legal counsel for this particular labor matter, we've determined that in fact with certain rules that are agreed to between the union and the village, we can continue to use part-time firefighters to replace full-time firefighters, again under certain circumstances. And so we've reached this tentative agreement with the union and would recommend your adoption of the resolution so we can sign it. And the next item on the agenda actually is related to this, and that deals with the physical impact, which we estimate is about $102,000. We have included some money in the budget for this possibility, but we do have to amend the budget to make sure we're covered, I guess is what it comes down to.
Trustee Ritter.
Chief Schultz, this is directly related to a recently passed law in Springfield, correct?
Yes, sir. The law went in effect July 1st, 2008. And just to give you a brief, the law is quite vague, and most of the law indicates that unless the collective bargaining unit bargains and negotiates with the municipality or fire district, the law says that you cannot use firefighter part-timers at all. So it is a permissive issue of bargaining. As I explained to you guys in an executive session, we were on, if you follow the law and don't negotiate it, you're looking at about a $600,000 or $700,000 price tag for us.
And my point actually wasn't, I just wanted to establish the fact, I guess, for the village and for the citizens that this is another law that Springfield has passed that had anywhere from $100,000 to $700,000 worth of liability for the village. It just, I don't know how else to say it, but legislators in Springfield are, you know, somebody says, come, why don't you do this? And they do it without thinking about the cost to every village in the state of Illinois that uses part-time firefighters. The very expensive proposition that was passed and pushed off on the villages with no money coming with it. Because this is times every town that has part-time firefighters has the same basic expense coming to them, right?
The only caveat to that is if they have a collective bargaining unit. Mm-hmm. The communities that do not have unions do not have to follow the public act that the manager described. It's only municipalities and fire districts that have a collective bargaining unit. So
we're being punished for having a collective bargaining unit and working in good faith with our employees. The legislature just stuck us with a $100,000 bill. I'm just sorry. It's some of the politics that happens down there and some of the things that happen are pushed off on us to pay for after they win some favor with a voter is kind of disappointing. And I know we don't have any way around this, and I'll end my discussion at that point. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Humpher?
I got to agree with Trustee Ritter on here. This is, and I know, Chief, you're trying to work with what you're dealt with, but I mean, the union is costing us $100,000 because of this law that's passed. And I, too, I just don't understand it. I don't know why this law was passed. I know we have to do this to comply with it, but it is costing us an extra $100,000 to implement this law, and that's disappointing. That's money that could be spent on the streets, on other areas to improve the village, and we're spending on salaries because we got to call a full-time guy first instead of a part-time guy. I don't understand it. Chief, I know you're doing the best you can with what you're dealt with, but and we're complying with the law with this, but it is sad, and I do agree with Trustee Ritter on this.
I will
Trustee Ritter?
add, though, I don't want to push this off and make it look like our firefighters, they could have had us for 700,000 if they pushed for the full thing.
Right.
Would that be correct? We could have lost up to $700,000 depending on how this agreement with our full-time firefighters turned out.
We would not have gone down without a fight.
Well, I understand that, but it could have been a lot worse. And I'm not going to put any blame on anybody locally for this. This all came to us by way of our friends in Springfield.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'll pass
Okay.
again.
Terry, please call the roll.
Trustee Humpher?
Yes.
Trustee Hines?
Yes.
Trustee Sigwalt?
Yes.
Trustee Ramirez-Sliwinski?
Yes.
Trustee Ritter?
Yes,
President Sarto?
Yes.